All right. These are the groups for ASL round of 16. Taste and I have released the translated with subtitles, group selection phase. It's about an hour and a half long. I'll leave the link below, so definitely check that out if you want to. But here are our groups. There was a few things. I watched the group selection, and a few main points stuck out. The first thing is everyone was in agreement that Light and Snow are the strongest players right now. Literally every single person was in complete agreement for that. And it wasn't like they were saying one was better than the other or something. They were all pretty scared of Light and Snow, and everyone knew that Light and Snow would end up in groups C and D. So yeah, that was something where people were trying to figure out, oh, do I want to be in group C? Do I want to be in group D? Or do I want to try to bait myself into being in the other groups? This is a snake draft format. So for instance, Sulky, the champion, got to pick first, went Mong, then Mini, Rush, Sharp, and then Sharp picks Mind. Mind picks Action, and it goes back, right? And then Shuttle picks, and then Royal, and then Bisu gets picked by Mong, and it snakes back, right? So basically the strongest players get left to the end almost every single time. So in the first like 5 picks, it was 4 Terran players and Shuttle. Like everyone kind of agreed that the Terran players, other than Light, were extremely weak compared to the Protoss and Zerg players, right? So like for instance, Mong was picked up right away, Barracks was picked up right away, then Shuttle, and then Mind, and then JYJ was actually the next pick. This was originally JYJ Action here. So yeah, it was basically all the, and then like after that, actually Best got picked up right before Royal did. Shuttle wanted to have a PvP in there, so I think he was thinking he'd end up with Snow and have like a heavy Protoss group and get to play PvPs. I think that was his thought process, but I can't say 100%. Anyways, just taking a look at the overall groups. Oh yeah, and one thing to mention, Sulky did end up swapping. He had in here Action and swapped Action for JYJ. Right? So he didn't want to have Action in there. I'm not surprised. Sulky, not known for having great ZVZ. That's a very volatile matchup. There's not a lot of Zergs. Easy to avoid. And it gives you one less matchup that you have to practice for as Sulky there. So that's like a big thing as well, right? So that's kind of how the groups were made by the players, but let's go over the actual strength of the groups real quick. So Sulky, obviously the defending champion, got to make kind of the group of his dreams. It's never going to be perfect, but when you look at this, Sulky, Mong, Bisu, JYJ, Bisu is in very good shape right now. We have to point out. Obviously, Sulky is. Mong has a terrible win rate against Zerg and is having a hard time there. JYJ is doing pretty well. Like he's a semi-recent ASL champion. Like 2 seasons ago, he won, but little bit of luck involved, right, in winning an ASL. Like it's quite volatile. Like he won one, Royal won one, but it's like, okay, well your matches kind of went the right way and everything. It's not like when Light wins an ASL and everyone's like, yeah, he's the best, of course, right? So not as much respect given to him, although he is very strong. I think that there is this, Sulky, I think he's probably slightly favored against Bisu and JYJ, but that's actually surprisingly hard for Sulky because JYJ is one of the best SK Terran players in the world, if not the best. Like he plays as well as Light with Marine Medic Science Vessel against Zerg. Really, really strong at that. And obviously Bisu's one of the best PVZs in the world. So that is a very hard group. That is a very hard group. But like I was saying before, Bisu has actually been playing really well. He crushed the Terran team in the KCM Race Survival Series. The finals just happened. Terran was able to beat Zerg in the semifinals. And then Terran started out really well, and then Bisu beat everybody. He got like 4 or 5 kills in a row. It was crazy. He played really strongly, but a lot of Bisu's plays were like Zealot-based aggression, and that was very recent. So I feel like JYJ can probably prepare for that stuff. Who's getting out of the group? I'm going Sulky Bisu, but if JYJ beat Bisu or Sulky, I would not be super surprised. A tough group for the defending champ. Group B, we have Mini, Barracks, Royal, Hero. So Barracks is definitely one of the weaker players. He was the only tier 3 player to make it into the round of 16. This season had almost no upsets in the previous round, right? It was all tier 1 and tier 2 getting through, with only Barracks sneaking through from a lower tier player. And the thing is, you look at him compared to everyone here, and he is a lower tier player. He is good. He does look good. He's a strong player, right? Obviously, you're in the round of 16, but he's not the level of Hero, Mini, and Royal, right? Like, these are all championship quality. Hero hasn't won a championship yet, but like, he's one of those guys that's like, he needs to just win one, right? Like, he's like the equivalent of Snow for Zerg or something, right? Where neither of them have won. They both should have won. Hero, like, it's ridiculous. Looking at this group, here's the thing that I'm a little bit nervous about. Royal's really good against Zerg. Very good at making builds, but it is best of 1. So I have this bad feeling, right? And it's best of 3 in the other 3 matches. Your first match is best of 1, and then it's all best of 3s from there on out. So you can't get eliminated and you can't advance without winning best of 3s, just to make that really super clear, right? So there's a little bit of volatility in that first match. Now, I expect Mini to beat Barracks, but Barracks is probably going to come with something really strong, like an all-in. Royal versus Hero, I think Royal come with something sharp, right? Something dangerous that he can attack right away against Hero. Because if he gets some damage, like, suddenly you're going to win a best of 1, and that's rough. All that being said, I do think Mini and Hero are a bit better than Royal, so I am going with them. Zerg Protoss, Zerg Protoss. All right, Group C. We have a Rush Shuttle Best Light. That's kind of crazy, right? Shuttle, I don't give him much of a chance. Best is really, really, really strong all the time, but generally underperforms slightly in ASL. He's another guy that we feel like should probably have been a champion by now and just is not. Light is probably the best player in the world. Again, you know, I keep saying this. I'll say it until it's not true. But realistically, like, all the other pros are saying it as well at the group selection. You can go check it for yourself. I'm not full of shit here. Light is unbelievably good. He knows, like, everything about the game. It's so crazy. It's like not quite Flash level, but like kind of the closest thing we have to that. And mechanically, like, no one's better. So I'm definitely going with Light getting out. I favor Light super heavily against Rush, and I favor him against Best. Now, Rush versus Best, if we hit that in a best of 3, that's going to be an amazing match. I think out of all the Terrans here, Rush is probably the second best against Protoss. And really, he's the second best Terran in the tournament. I know Rush hasn't won an ASL, and JYJ and Royal have. And Mind was even in a finals recently. But Rush is probably the second best Terran, realistically, when you look at it. He's so incredibly solid, and like, his style is a bit different from Light's too. I'm actually going with Light and Rush here. I think they're both going to make it through. So far, that would be 2 Zergs, 2 Protoss, 2 Terrans, based on my prediction. Group D. There was a lot of shit talk for Sharp, especially from Shuttle. I think Shuttle was trying to goad Sharp into taking him. But yeah, Sharp is actually in very, very good shape right now. He's in better shape than he's been in since he was doing yoga. If anyone remembers, like, many ASL seasons ago, he like showed up and he had lost a bunch of weight, and like he's like, oh yeah, I've been doing yoga, and he did like really well that season. He looks like that Sharp again, where all of his play is really smart, really thought out, well executed. He's macroing well, he's attacking well. He's in top form. And, you know, he has always been known for his TVT, so not surprised that he picked Mind, but a little bit surprised. And Mind says that Mind is bad at TVT. Now, I disagree. I think Mind is one of, if not the smartest Terran, like, just thinking about the game. He's really a brilliant Terran player. In fact, these are like basically my 2 favorite Terrans, is Sharp and Mind, so that's going to be a great group for me. Looking down at the other 2, Action, it feels like every round of 8 has Action in it. And like, he was picked very late. He was the 4th to last picked, right? Like I said, he got swapped for JYJ. So, you know, Action and Hero were both super respected and went in the last row, just like Light and Snow. But they did go before Light and Snow, obviously, so a little bit different there. And then you got Snow here. Now, Snow playing his best wins the group without losing a map. Maybe Action takes 1 map. Okay, let me back that up. Maybe Action would take a map. And the thing is, these the Terran players are very dangerous. Sharp has a very aggressive, volatile Terran versus Protoss. Very good at vulture harassment, getting in when you don't expect. Mind has some of the best decision making in TVP. So there's a lot of danger here, but I think Snow is head and shoulders above these guys overall and should be able to make it out of the group. But he doesn't always perform offline. I'm still going with him getting out. Looking at the Terran versus Zerg of the two Terran players, I actually think Mind is slightly better Terran versus Zerg than Sharp, but it's close. But I don't think of either of them for Terran versus Terran. I think of them both for how they play their mech builds, right? So I actually think it's going to be Snow in action making it out. And if my predictions go correctly, that is the best top 8 that you could ever get with the set of players that entered this tournament. Well, I mean, Jaedong is like the fanfic one that he didn't make it through, but like, look at it, right? If my predictions get through, and these actually are my predictions, I'm not predicting it because it's fun. This is actually what I think about the levels and the groups and the matchups, right? So if it's like Sulky and Bisu, Mini and Hero, Light and Rush, Action and Snow, it's like the 3 best Protosses, the 3 best Zergs, and the 2 best Terrans. And that would be just the sickest round of 8. But anyways, yeah, that's the round of 16. That's what I think about it. Tasis and I will be casting. It's starting this week. So yeah, we'll get those episodes out as quickly as possible. So yeah, I hope you enjoy.